Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Benanti, and these are your readings from the waist up. So somebody asked me about my name. I was like, it's literally from the waist up. So that's how I got the name. Been doing it on Instagram for a very long time. This is my fabulous little charm bag. I love it. It is full of lots and lots of charms. And so I'm gonna pull 3 out. You choose one, and then that corresponding charm will somehow connect for you for whatever reason. It could be because of what the charm is. It just might be that it's the first one, or how the charm functions. So just think about it and you pick one, and then the reading will make sense. That's just kind of how it rolls. Okay, our first charm today is a fly. I know, yuck, big ugly fly. But sometimes, you know, flies have a purpose. They are food for a lot of different birds. They break things down. They eat poop, so they get rid of decay. So there's a, add advantages to flies. Sorry, I'm gonna get tongue-tied sometimes. Our next one is a candy, a little bonbon, old-fashioned wrapper on each side. When I was a kid, that's what we had. Most candies were wrapped like that. Okay, and then we have a giant rooster or a cock. So perhaps you're feeling that. So again, it's fly, bonbon, or rooster. I am gonna read for the fly first, and you guys can jump ahead and, if you've got the bonbon or the rooster. But just take a moment and decide which one fits for you, and we'll go from there. I don't know why I'm tongue-tied today. I'm not always like that, but it's what it is. Sometimes life, that's how we roll. Okay, so fly people. I have said prayers ahead of time, just so you know. I know that can be troublesome for some people, but I always set my intentions in advance, and to connect with just you, like I don't know who is actually going to see this out there. I don't have that many followers, and that's okay. I just want to read for that person that needs me, and today that's you. So, okay, fly people. There's a sense of like you don't know what's next, and okay, you've got 3 out of 4 all are heavy hitters. So, first off, we're starting with the Magician in reverse. Where is your magic? You're not trusting yourself. And I think there's a part of this, like you don't know where to begin. And, when we think about the fly, flies are they are the bug that we consider insignificant. We give more credit to mosquitoes because they bite us and they make us pay attention to them. A fly is just annoying. And, what makes things annoying to us is when they repeat it over and over again. So perhaps there's something in you that is agitating you because you are not making a change that you need to make. And so it's like an itch you can't scratch. And I really want you to think about that. This might be time for you to overcome your fear and to step into the challenge that you have been resisting because it's annoying you, and you might be feeling frustrated or agitated because you're actually not harnessing your power, you're resisting it. And, part of the Magician is trusting that you've got all the skills you need. And I want you, I know it's very common for women in particular to underestimate their abilities, but men do this too. So, trust in yourself. You've got more skills than you think, and it's enough to get started. Nobody's looking for perfection yet. And so I really want you to own that. In your work life, you've got a strong female here, Queen of Pentacles. Now, this might be you. This might be your energy that you're harnessing and owning and really tapping into that creative force and your natural abilities and trusting in yourself. You might also have someone who is a mentor or someone you're attracted to in your work environment that is just really got her act together in all the positive ways. And we love this energy. She is heralding transformation in this particular card. We've got butterflies flying around her. She's dressed in colors of autumn, which is a little less traditional for Queen of Pentacles. I tend to think of her more as spring energy. And so this is a really good, strong female leader. And think about what you can develop and own in this situation. And I do feel like if this is another person, she is supportive of you and she's got your back as far as your learning and growth goes. If this is you, rock on. Like, you've got this. Okay, now, personal life, again, you're stepping in and like, I don't know where I'm going. I can't see what's ahead of me. We are looking at the Hermit in reverse. You know what? You can't always see what's ahead of you, but you just keep on moving. When I get out and walk in the mornings, it is dark. It feels like people sneak up on me because I can't see them. That's okay. I'm still walking. I'm still moving. We don't always have to have perfect vision. One of the things that it's like you're trying to find a path. But what I want you to think about is maybe this isn't about you having a path. Maybe this is you creating the path. So sometimes we have to forge ahead. You know, in Rambo, somebody's got to go through with a machete and clear out the jungle so everyone else can follow. Maybe that's what you need to do right now. Maybe your path isn't one that's already made. Maybe it doesn't need to look like anybody else's. Trust that you've got this. You've got a 9 and a 1, an ending and a beginning. Create that transition for yourself. You've got this. This is empowering for you. And trust in the significance of who you are. You are not a fly on the wall. Everybody has purpose. It might not have to look like anything significant, but it's there. Okay, now moving into next week for you, this isn't going to shift immediately. So I've got the World in reverse. And you know, this is a card, it is making it. It's the ultimate level of attainment. It is spiritually like leaving our earthliness behind and really connecting with the other side. You know, with the Hermit, I think you've got some fears maybe, or some questions that are unanswered about what your spiritual journey is going to look like. If you don't step into change, you are going to feel like this is harder than it needs to be. With the World, though, this isn't, you need to give yourself more grace that this is going to be a slower journey. It doesn't have to be overnight. That's okay. And one of the things I see for you is allowing time to evolve, to develop, and kind of grow up into this. You need to mature, you need to gestate, and even maybe figure out where you want to be. Like, location might be somewhat of an issue for you. If you've been hurting yourself in some way, and that doesn't mean just cutting. Maybe it's overeating. For me, it's eating cookies, like when I shouldn't. It gives me acid reflux. It makes me feel overweight. It makes me uncomfortable. You know, so think about whatever that is. There's a sense that you're hurting yourself and you need to stop that. So really acknowledge what are your limiting or negative habits. Write them down, get clear on them. Once you write them down, you can see them. It's like, oh, yeah, I do that. And it doesn't mean you're going to change immediately, but it does mean you can begin to acknowledge where you need to make changes. And it's easier to catch yourself once we bring consciousness to it. So just know that you're in process, and we'll look at more next week, but just hang in there with this, because this is your soul's work right now. You are on your soul's path. And even if that feels like it sucks, that's okay. That's where our greatest lessons and growth comes from. And that is actually the purpose of why we come into this life and to live a life, is to evolve the soul with experiences. So you're right where you need to be. This looks good. Okay, now let's take a look at our bonbon people. So, okay, and for anyone who thinks if you're concerned about my experience, I have been a reader professionally for 25 years. I've been on podcasts and TV channels. I've had podcasts. I've been in papers and whatever. I've been around. I'm old. I've been doing this for a hot minute. So, okay. So, bonbon people. You have, oh, fun. Okay. Well, you've got some good things. Not to say that you don't have challenges. But there's so much more about your life right now that's about having some fun. So we love that. So starting out, bonbons, enjoy your friends. Have a good time. Indulge a little bit in libations if you're 21 and up. So, you know, it really is about you celebrating. And I think for you as well, there might even be some of your friends might not be with you like online or over the phone, and so it's catching up and chit-chatting or through games or whatever your experience is. But there's a sense of, you know, usually we have 3 women present here, but this is a lack of people. That's not to say you're not having a good time and you're not connecting with them, but perhaps it's long distance, and that's okay too. Think about what brings magic into your life, though. There is a sense of really enjoying some of your own, and you know, whether that's positive dreams or a good night of sleep. Boy, that is magical to get a good night of sleep. But really enjoying like your food or the weather or the leaves changing color or falling off the trees. Just have some fun with this. Your work life, and I say work, this can be school for you. Please know, you know, as an adult, I tend to think of it as work, but certainly if you're a student, that would be your work life. School is work. You spend a tremendous amount of time there, and it's not particularly fun because it's not necessarily what you want to be doing. I get it. So you've got Queen of Swords there. She is in reverse. So you've got someone who kind of up your butt, and she might seem overly critical and overly harsh. And I feel like this is a point of frustration for you. If you are this person, watch your tongue. It's too sharp. You are perhaps being overly negative and a little judgmental, a little critical. And so I want you to take a step back and really watch that. Now, if someone is being that way towards you, which with Queen of Swords, she can definitely be that way. I think she sees you, and there is compassion there, but she's not good at verbalizing this. And so she comes out harsh or cold or ugly or distant, and it's because she's actually been thinking about it so long that by the time she says something, the frustration is in her voice, versus saying, hey, could you maybe do it this way? It's like, hey, why haven't you done this yet? And you're like, I didn't know I was supposed to do this. So I do feel like that can be a little bit difficult, and we all struggle with, not everybody, but some of us struggle on how to be a good boss and not sound sharp or edgy. And I know she is. I do think there's an aspect, though, where she sees you. And whether that's good or bad, I think she gets you more than she's letting on. And, you know, she might just not be a fit, and that's okay. But I do think that you have visibility with her. Now, your personal life looks much better, though. And everything else is fine. It's just this one lady at work. Okay, so full speed ahead. We have the Chariot. Yay. Movement. You know, and any kind of movement. If you're looking at traveling, if you're looking at a car, a bicycle, any way in which you get around, this is a lot of activity, and it's going at a good pace, and it looks like it's a lot of fun. There might be some focus on a little bit of a sense of style that you're doing differently. Maybe it's playing with your hair or your makeup. If you're a guy, again, it might be hair or how you present yourself. It might be a new shirt or a look that you're going for that might be a little different than the way you've done it before. So that just being significant in there. There's some transition that's happening. I feel like you see things more clearly than you had in the past. And your short-term goals can be very purposeful right now, so I do want you to focus on those. Not anything too far out, but like between now and the end of the year looks really good, the next couple of months. And it also seems like what you need to manage in your personal life is more manageable than maybe what had been in the past. We've only got one horse here, not two. So that gives you a sense of easier to manage or navigate moving forward. Also, aim high. I feel like because we have Pegasus leading you, a black Pegasus, but still a Pegasus. So I just feel like this is a very purposeful time for you. Okay, now moving into next week. Strong new beginning, area of the heart. You've got Ace of Cups. How delicious is that? And you started with cups and you're ending with cups. So there's a sense like, you know, you're just in a good place with your emotions right now. So feeling joyful, feeling happy, also maybe feeling more receptive to love or opportunities around relationships and enthusiasm than you had before. So this looks so exciting and juicy for you. I definitely want you to focus on having fun and playing with it. There's a sense of playfulness. I've got the dragonfly. So just go and have a good time and plan on it all working out. And I think you're going to be in good shape. Okay, so that's our bonbon. Let's take a look at our rooster. For those of you that picked the rooster or the big cock, he's got a nice fluffy tail. His feet are separated, so he's kind of walking very proud. So, which is what we always think of as a rooster. And you know, they have a tough job. They have to watch all the hens. They have to make sure they're protected and that, you know, nothing's going to come in and eat them. But they are kind of a pain because they're loud. I live in the city, and you're only allowed to have your rooster in for like 4 hours. Like, he's allowed to fertilize your chickens, but then you have to get them out. So they don't want them overnight. Okay, rooster people. Okay, so your week is a little heavy. First off, I've got 10 of Pentacles. It is in reverse, and there is no people present, and so there's some significance to that. And you know, it is technically one of our happy family cards, and you know, if you're the rooster, that's a lot of male energy, and a sense that there's a lack of harmony in the family. And in regards to passing things on from one generation to the next. So, you know, perhaps someone has passed on for you, or just you're feeling, it really feels like you're left out in some way, or feeling left out. You might not actually be left out, but you feel that there's a disconnect, and that you guys are, the people in your family, like you're all in a different trajectory, or kind of like on a different plane. And so you're each functioning individually, and it's not coming together as a unit. And there's a sense of longing for what you think it should be, or what it used to be maybe at one time. And I want you to really look at how can you rewrite that story for yourself. Does it need to look the way you think it needs to look? And where can you guys maybe connect better? So I know, like, if I want my family to function, I'm going to make a meal. Like, everybody will come together for a meal. And in fact, we hadn't seen each other all together since May earlier this year. So that's like 4 months ago. And so I was like, okay, family dinner, come on. But we need to connect, and that's going to be important. And I know, you know, part of this rooster, that is pride. And, you know, do you want to have family pride? So something to think about. If you are a student, school might not be so fun right now. And you might just feel like it's not tapping into your creativity or inspiring you the way it wants to be. And by the way, if you're a kid, maybe you don't cook dinner, but you can still call the family together and say, hey, we need some family time. Like, parents will respond to that. They get it. So school might just not be your source of inspiration at the moment. If you are adult, you might be training someone that isn't really getting it or seems fully interested. But you might also have some feelings where you need to step up and learn some skills. And it's like, oh, this doesn't interest me, which is how I feel about technology. Like, I get on board with it because I have to. I have to function in this society. But I could live without my phone. I used to live without a TV. I just don't need all that. I would rather be creative and be outside and everything. And so when I'm looking at this for you, it's like there's resistance. And I can see there's benefits there of you learning this or stepping into this growth period, but you're looking at it that it's really minute. So I'm just seeing it in this band, and that's really tiny compared to the whole page. And you could really make more of it if you want to. So it's your choice. Think about that. What you can learn can be so much greater. All right, now personal life, where to begin? You've got Ace of Wands. It is in reverse. And so you have a 10 and a 1. So an ending and a beginning. But I feel like your personal life, you're like, I just want to be on my own. There's a sense of wanting independence for you right now. And what I would say, and because of this particular card, you need to step into your creativity. Whatever that looks like for you. It doesn't even have to be pretty. It can be just scribbling on paper, doodles, maybe rearranging the furniture in your house, in your room. I definitely feel like you have some clutter and you need to declutter. That is going to help this because I feel like your energy feels really congested. And clutter is a confirmation. It's the external visual to everyone of what's going on internally. So usually, like, if I'm cluttered out here, it's because I'm feeling cluttered in here. So there's some purging I feel that needs to happen, and I want you to start tapping into being creative, whether it's an instrument, tapping your fingers like a drum, listening to music, playing music, being artistic, working in the garden, writing, whatever your creative power is. Or even just curious about, what do you want to explore? Step into this. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It's not for anybody. It's for you. And you are the most important person in your world. So think about that and how you want to step into that. Okay? Moving forward, 3 of Swords. Okay. That's some heartache. Never an easy card. The 3 of Swords can trigger a surgery in the family, for someone in the family. That's not bad. Surgeries often make us better, but a little scary to step into. But typically, it's heartache between you and 2 other people. So what's the involvement in this? When I look at this, I feel like there's some depression happening because your life isn't what you thought it would be. And what I want you to consider is it never is for any of us. And that's what makes it so great, because we learn from these really difficult, awful, challenging times. And, what is your involvement in this trifecta? Can you step away? Can you withdraw from being in this group? Can you improve the situation? Do you want to improve the situation? Sometimes with people, we outgrow what we can gain from each other, because every decision you make is essentially a power move. So am I gaining power? Am I losing power? With the people we choose to be around, it's because we think they will bring something wonderful into our life. And, sometimes when they don't, we can be disappointed. Now, family, we don't get to choose them, but we still have the ability to find the benefits there versus what's driving us nuts. So think about what you want, how you might navigate this differently. I do see you feeling, again, depressed, perhaps a little victimized, a little hiding in the shadow. She's wearing the veil, so hiding yourself. That could be a hoodie. But I will say, hiding isn't benefiting you. So, and you're swallowing when we're depressed. It's because we're not expressing the emotions. We're swallowing them. We are unable to emit them, to get them out of us. And, you're seeing the pride, the rooster, and the sense of power by holding on to it, but that's actually like a facade. It's weakening you. You've got to talk about it. And so take this opportunity to find someone that maybe you can talk to, a professional, a hotline number, someone that has more skills than you. And so look in that direction. It could be a counselor. Look at your resources. But I don't want you to feel burdened by this. And then it is really thinking about taking some power and control in your life. If you're living at home and you're a young person, that's really hard to do because you're still living under the laws of your parents. But sometimes it's abiding by the laws and their rules just so you can find your own way to launch from them. And so figuring that out as you go. Okay. I know that was a tough one, and I'm sorry, but sometimes readings are that way. I'm here to help you grow through the process, and we'll take a look next week. It's up to you whether it's going to get better, and I know that's hard to imagine. Sometimes we are put into situations, though. You look at a war situation. No, it's not up to me, right? Like, people are at war around me. I'm in a war zone. It's terrible. And that is true, but the only thing we can really control is how we respond to situations. So own your feelings. If they're cruddy feelings, start journaling, pound the pillow, get some of that negative energy out. Find someone you can talk to that can support you, and improve what you can in your own well-being, and that's going to help you live a better life. Okay. That is it. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will see you all next week.